Hello friends, and welcome to the weekly moon update. In these videos, we talk about the moon energy for the current week as well as a little bit of astrology. As always, you can check out the timestamps in the description box below if you're not watching this live when it premieres on Sundays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in this video's case, we're talking about the week of July 14th through July 20th. And we have a last quarter moon week, which means the moon is 50% lit, half full or half empty, as I like to call it, because the energy is decreasing. A waning moon is decreasing with light and energy. So we're kind of slowing down this week. We're also closing out the Cancer sun season as well as the Cancer moon cycle because we have a new moon in Leo and the sun moving into Leo next week. I love the energy of a last quarter moon. It kind of takes the pressure off of things. It helps you feel like you can start winding down. You can start trying to relax. You can start taking it easy and allow yourself to rest and digest and meal prep for the slower, darker moon week, which will be next week. So let's jump into the moon energy for this last quarter moon week. So our last quarter moon is happening on Thursday. So we really do have still a lot of energy and light with the moon this week. So as you can see right here, the moon is 50% lit. The right half of the moon is dark, and it will continue to darken as we make our way closer to next week. But the beginning of the week here is still so close to the full moon. We've got a waning gibbous moon here, and gibbous moons are more than 50% lit. So there's more than 50% of light and energy of the moon at the beginning of the week. Then the end of the week is a waning crescent moon because the light in the sky will just be the little sliver of a crescent moon on the left-hand side of the moon here. So the end of the week is really, and into the weekend is really when you're going to start to feel that lower energy. And we also have a Mercury retrograde happening on July 18th. The Mercury is currently in Virgo, so we've been feeling kind of this like productive energy. So when it's retrograde until August 11th, I think we're maybe going to kind of start to see some breakdown of communication, whereas we were seeing with Mercury and Virgo, we were seeing very like detail oriented communication, being very specific about the things that you say. And when Mercury goes retrograde, we kind of always see that breakdown of communication, and that's when technology starts to kind of act weird. Sometimes you feel like you can't like get the right words out of your mouth. Like you feel like your words feel all kind of jumbly. So we'll start to see that take effect on Friday and into the next few weeks. So as the energy of the moon is decreasing, I think we will kind of see this, like, I don't know, it kind of feels like choosing your words, like not kind of choosing not to say something because you just don't have the energy to say it. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of feeling for this Mercury retrograde. So honestly, this week I'm kind of feeling like this checked out kind of energy. It is possible that I'm filming this around a holiday weekend, the July 4th holiday weekend. So maybe I'm just checked out, but I don't know, I was feeling called to pull our oracle cards from the Healing Waters Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And I assumed that was just because this is the last week of Cancer season and Cancer water energy, the last week of the Cancer moon cycle. We're starting off the week with Pisces energy. So I don't know, there's just this kind of like, this is how the energy of this week feels. How this person is like just floating on top of the water, kind of blissed out and just kind of flowing and going with the flow. They're like taking a moment to pause. And I don't know, that's kind of the energy that I'm feeling for this week. But like I said, it could be because I am filming it around a holiday week as well. So I do my best to try to tap into the energy of this week, especially while I'm pulling the oracle cards. So I really do try my best to like, I don't really want to say channel, but like deliver messages that pertain to the energy of this week. And that's just what I'm feeling at the time that I'm filming this. Whether that is going to be the case for this week or not, I don't know why I'm hesitating with that. Yeah, I'm not really sure like what that means. However, kind of also how I'm feeling is like kind of like confused. Like I don't know if the energy that I'm feeling right now is pertaining to the time that I'm filming it, or if it's the time that the time of the week that I'm talking about. But how I'm feeling right now is very much Neptune retrograde energy, where you can't quite figure out, is this real? Is this happening? What is, like, I'm feeling this, but I don't really know how to identify it. Neptune retrograde makes things feel cloudy and kind of unclear. Anyways, so starting off this week, which is not necessarily my favorite sign to start off the week with in Pisces. I don't like starting off the week with water signs, especially if we're having Neptune retrograde and Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Yeah, we'll be in Pisces all day Monday and for most of Tuesday as well. So Pisces is just kind of a sleepy, dreamy kind of energy. It spaces out, it gets confused. I find that I have difficulty focusing on things on a Pisces moon day. So my advice for maybe navigating a Pisces moon while the Neptune is retrograde is to take a look at your chart and see either which house Pisces rules. Great. For me, it's my first house. Or Neptune. Neptune is in my 10th house. So basically, self and career for me is going to be affected. Um, okay, so while having those two houses affected by Neptune retrograde feels overwhelming to me, mostly because I mean those are the like my career, and I also like identify a lot with my career as well. So having like the two things that I mostly focus on in my life affected by this Neptune retrograde gives us an opportunity to kind of take a step back and look at the big picture here. I'm like, those are only two houses out of 12 that is affected. So there are 10 other houses and areas of life that I can choose to focus on instead. And to remind myself to just kind of like how you approach, like we say to approach a Mercury retrograde, which is also coming up this week, of like we always tell you, like to think about what you say before you say it, to read things carefully, like double and triple check things before you sign them. So we can approach a Neptune retrograde in the same way of like giving yourself more time to find clarity with things, if you're feeling unsure or if you're feeling confused about something, to give yourself more time and space to like find that clarity. So that's something that I'm gonna have to remind myself. Uh, the thing that makes me feel like the most frustrated is that I feel like I have finally found some clarity with these two areas of my life, like my sense of identity and self, and with my career. And so it feels frustrating to have finally found that like glimmer of spark, and then to have that potentially be clouded again. So anyways, this is how astrology helps me to kind of like gain a bigger perspective of what's going on, because we tend to be so focused with like these little mundane things that are happening in our lives all the time, that we forget that like, oh, there is something else happening here. There is something bigger happening here. And sometimes you just need to put things down, focus on something else, and then come back to it later. Okay, so with all of that said, we'll be in Pisces all day Monday and most of Tuesday. We're having really long transitions again this week. So the moon will start moving at 1:09 p.m. on Tuesday, but it won't move into Aries until 12:33 a.m. Wednesday morning. So it's almost like a 12-hour transition. I know I say this a lot, but like I really do love the transition between signs, especially with signs that I might struggle with. I love Pisces energy and I love Neptune energy, but it's not the best for being productive and getting things done. So on a Pisces moon day, I might reserve time to like film a pick a card reading or something, because that allows me to be very intuitive, which is something that Pisces likes to do. But I'm not going to plan on doing like bookkeeping or paying bills on this day, because I just know myself and know that I don't have the brain power to do it. However, if I needed to do those things, I would for sure choose an Aries day for that. I also really like Aries days for like running errands or for multitasking, when you have to like, I've got an appointment here, I've got to go grocery shopping here, I've got to go pick up the kids here. Like it's, if you have to be running around, an Aries moon day is a really good day to do those types of things. And we'll be in Aries energy all day Wednesday, all day Thursday. Well, most of Thursday, the moon will start to transition at 8:37 p.m. Thursday, and then move into Taurus around 4 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I kind of like that we're having a Taurus moon, because Taurus helps us to like slow down and take one step at a time. And Taurus is also just like very practical. I've found that like Taurus people handle conflict or like uncomfortable situations very well. They're just, the Taurus energy has this like confidence to it that is just like, well, this is our situation and this is what we're going to do about it. They're just very practical and level-headed without getting, even though they are like heart centered, Venus ruled, they don't get like too emotional about things. Maybe later after the fact, but they're just very level-headed and practical and able to find a solution and a resolution without like freaking out and getting anxious about things. So that's kind of a nice start to the Mercury retrograde, and we'll be in Taurus for all day Friday and all day Saturday, and then we'll move into Gemini Sunday morning around 6:22 a.m. So we'll be in Gemini for all day Sunday. That makes for like a nice little playful Sunday if you are able to take some time off and just be kind of silly and jokester and playful. Because this is a waning crescent and it's kind of a dark. When is our new moon? Our new moon is not until next Thursday, so we've still got a little bit of light and energy here, but I find that a darker Gemini moon is a little bit more introspective. I mean, we only had our Gemini new moon well, it'll be 2 months ago, Thursday, next Thursday. So if you remember, like a Gemini full moon at the end of the year is a little bit more like celebratory, whereas a new Gemini moon is a little bit more introspective, kind of looking at the other side of the coin and reevaluating things kind of energy. So maybe you do some journaling on Sunday, or maybe you play a game or watch a movie, do something fun that you like to do. And remember, Uranus just moved into Gemini too, so I think that this is going to bring up like conversations that we need to have. So remember that when the moon's in Gemini, it's a good time to like talk about your feelings too, to say the things that you mean to say, but make sure that you are thinking about these things before saying them because Mercury is retrograde. Okay, so we actually did get an extra oracle card this week. So let's go ahead and read these messages. So we've got Cosmic Ocean, and I really just can't, isn't there like nothing like floating on the water like that with your arms laid out? Oh gosh, and the sun is in your face and you're just such a blissful, peaceful moment to capture on this card here. So we have Cosmic Ocean, current dreams, future realities, and new beginnings. Water features in the creation stories of countless cultures across the globe, perhaps more so than any other natural substance or mystery. Echoing through these symbolic narratives about the birth of the world is the notion that everything originated from water. Many creation myths speak of life arising from the primordial waters or the great cosmic ocean. The Rig Veda, the oldest Indian text, states that creation began within the darkness where all was unrecognizable, when all was a unrecognizable salty ocean. And to the ancient Babylonians of Mesopotamia, in the beginning, there was both salty water and sweet water, which merged to create the gods. In many creation myths, transformation and emergence occur in the places where natural elements overlap. While Celtic mythology doesn't have a specific creation story, there is the fable of Iocha, a white mare born from the foam where the sea met the land before time began. This card is one of promise, hope, and new beginnings. What dreams are making their way into your consciousness? What is it that you're dedicated to creating? While the manifestation may not be immediate, time will bring things to fruition. Trust in the whispering dreams of your destiny, just as the new beginnings of a stream may one day flow into the vast ocean. Something new is beckoning to be born, so dare deep and wide. Dream your future into reality. The soul inquiry is, what's the biggest dream you have that even you are yet to admit to? And it's so interesting that like Neptune retrograde keeps coming up with this. Like Neptune is the planet of dreams and subconscious, and it is this hope and belief that your dreams can come true. So when it's retrograde, it's helping us reevaluate like what those dreams are and maybe figure out what is blocking you from manifesting these dreams. It's like all retrogrades are a time to help us like relearn something, to reevaluate, to rediscover something that we perhaps missed the first time around, overlooked the first time around, or it didn't like sink in. You know, sometimes we just need the same lesson over and over again until it finally hits us and we have that aha moment. And retrogrades give us that opportunity to like just see different perspectives of whatever it is that we are going through or learning. Or and as we're closing out this Cancer moon cycle that was allowing us to check in with our goals and our dreams during a Mercury retrograde, during a Neptune retrograde, Pluto's retrograde too, like we're almost given this moment of pause to just kind of see what settles, to see what sinks in. And again, I just love this imagery of just having your arms open and floating around and just being open to what comes, open to the moment and open to your dreams. So we ended up with two crystals. I love this card, but every time it comes up, I feel this like ping of regret because like I had a really wonderful opportunity to get a beautiful large piece of charoite and I did not take advantage of the opportunity and I every time I see this card I'm like, "Oh, you could have had this." So charoite is known as the warrior stone and promotes courage, optimism, and originality. It promotes insights on past, present, and future challenges, gently guiding you to your higher path. A crown chakra gem, it's perfect for spiritual evolution and integration. If you're undergoing a time of transformation, expansion, and soul work, charoite will serve as your gemstone companion. The affirmation on this card is I welcome transformation with ease and grace. I kind of feel like the energy of this stone really encapsulates what the message that the Cosmic Ocean card had. Trust in the whispering dreams of your destiny. New beginning, just as the new beginnings of a stream may one day flow into the vast ocean, something new is beckoning to be born. Dream your future into reality. And then we also have Angelite. Angelite, they popped out together. So Angelite is a stone of compassion, peace, and calm. It facilitates clear celestial communication, attracts angelic presence, and acts as an anchor for angelic guides. Angelite is a throat chakra stone that encourages self-expression, compassion, and calms the nervous system. The affirmation is I am open to receiving the knowledge of my angels and guides. So there is something about the energy of this week of like literally just being open, opening your arms and being open to guidance, wisdom that might be coming in, or just being open to like whatever is going on in your present moment. And last but not least, our chakra card is a root chakra card, Anchor in Now. You are present, strong, and worthy, capable of creating the harmonious and beautiful life that you desire. Hold still in this wisdom, the knowledge that you are safe and stable, the awareness that Mother Earth is guiding and protecting you every step of the way. Your path to this moment was both guided and intended. So the crystal they recommend here is black tourmaline and the herb is burdock. So I mean like the other cards we had a crown chakra, we had a throat chakra and a root. And there's very much this need to just like have those all of those chakras like in alignment so that you're grounded and centered, channeling and receiving the wisdom that you're meant to be receiving and anchoring it into this world, into this life. I love that the cards are all matching this week as per usual, but then it's like this root chakra one that's like bam. Don't forget to root. Don't forget to get grounded and centered. And that is very important when we have a Pisces moon that's making us feel floaty and spacey, when we've got Neptune retrograde that's making things feel confusing or unclear or cloudy. It's important to like drop your anchor and get rooted and get grounded and know that you are safe and know that you are protected. And like Taurus teaches us to keep taking those heavy grounded steps forward, to trust in the movement that you are making. So my dear friends, thank you so much for being here with me. Sorry that it was a little convoluted in the beginning. I think that's just how it's going to be from now on until December, until Neptune goes direct again. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being floaty and spacey with me. Thanks for hanging out in Wonderland. I cannot wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime very soon. That's very much Neptune retrograde, which happened July 4th. Oh, is it happening today? It's happening tomorrow. Okay, so that's probably what it is that I'm feeling. I'm really feeling the Neptune retrograde at this moment in time. I guess maybe I'm feeling it now. Okay, that makes sense. That explains everything. Oh man, we're gonna be feeling like this for like until December. Boo.